with the latest Chelsea signing being the one and only Noni Madueke. What is Todd Boehly's transfer strategy? Is it a clear working formula? Is it a winning formula? Or it is just a waste of money? Let us know what you think in the comment section. But we have come here to make sure that we explain what if it's definitely taking place. My name is Abu Kals, right here at the Chelsea chapter, more than ready to bring into the latest straight as it is. You'll definitely know that we are definitely in the general transfer window, and quite a number of football players have definitely been signed. Chelsea in this general transfer window alone has managed to sign six football players. The countdown is definitely on. Six football players have been signed by Chelsea, and it seems that Chelsea has just started. By the look of things, Chelsea has only started because they are even looking at more football players. Some of the football players that have been looked at Casado, Moises Casado is one of the football players that is being looked at by Todd Boehly. So Todd Boehly came to Chelsea, or he took over Chelsea with his own strategy, a strategy to change the club, a strategy that could possibly take the club to yet another level. Let us know what you think in the comment section, and do not forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you do not miss out on whatever we've got to bring to you. As long as it is sports and as long as it is Chelsea related, we're definitely dedicated to bring to you the latest right about now. So we are definitely going to be looking into the strategy of this gentleman. We're definitely going to be looking at the strategy of this gentleman, and is it going to be a working one, or is it going to be a crooked one? Anyway, everything is going on as planned. I have to tell you, I have to say that things are definitely going on quite well for the club Chelsea, as they are getting almost every football player that they definitely want. A lot of money is being injected in the club, and it's a thing that has been tested. It's a formula that has been tested and it's worked, and that's why Todd Boehly, the current co-owner of Chelsea, is looking at reinforcement in the club Chelsea, and also building. He's also looking at building a new club from the roots, from just down the roots, to make sure that things definitely go on quite well at the club, as he took over from Roman Abramovich, who entirely owned the club, and it is now under the hands of he is a co-owner of Chelsea, and that's none other than Todd Boehly. Todd Boehly looks to be having a clear strategy. The path is definitely straight. Him managing to land quite a number of football players, definitely that means quite a lot. That definitely means a lot. So let us know what you think about this, and do not forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you do not miss out on whatever we've got to bring to you. Also, now, first of all, before we go any further, we have to let me let you know about who has signed official signings. The list: Mikhail Mudryk, who came in from Shakhtar Donetsk, and also he is a Ukraine football player who was bought at £88.5 million. There is Bernard Bodiashile, there is David Datro Fofana, there is Audrey Santos, there is Joao Felix, and there is the latest, and that is none other than Noni Madueke, who is a good one, who is an excellent football player also. So it will be remembered that I'll be breaking every little thing that you definitely need to know about these transfers, and what is going to be the impact, what could be the impact in all this. Where is Chelsea heading to? Is the formula going to be a working one, or otherwise? Anyway, let's dig deep into this. So the fact that Todd Boehly was looking at a restructuring of the club, the fact that Todd Boehly was looking at a new Chelsea. Todd Boehly was looking at a definite new Chelsea, a Chelsea that will excel more than what he found. It will be remembered that also it's quite big shoes that he stepped in, as Roman Abramovich was a very rich one, and was also willing to inject in quite a lot of money. That's why the club was always performing quite well. But for some reason, he said he was not happy with the way the club was being run and whoever was at the club, and that is why he's been looking at different ways on reinforcement and also making sure that he can buy new players. So, what is the strategy? What is the clear strategy? Anyway, let's first, before we go to the strategy, let's first look at each football player one by one, as also it is a roundup of all the football players that are at Chelsea, or football players that have been bought by Chelsea. Todd Boehly has injected in all this money with more than £400 million that has been injected in. And remember, some of the money is not known. Some of the contracts, the money is not known. But with more than that amount of money, let's see whether it will definitely work out. Anyway, let's first talk about the one and only Mikhail Mudryk, who goes to Chelsea from Shakhtar Donetsk with heavy links from Arsenal. He was heavily linked to Arsenal, and there was a bit of a tight competition between Arsenal and Chelsea. But whoever has the money takes the player, and that's what definitely happened. If you're not willing to invest in another club, is definitely willing to invest in. What will result into that is what happened with Chelsea. Definitely, Chelsea was more than ready to make sure that they can invest in the club and get a young player. So what they are trying to do, this gentleman, Todd Boehly, is trying to shop football players from all over the world. Young football players. He's not looking at winning the Premier League title this season, and also is not looking at the Premier League title next season. He's looking possibly 2-3 seasons. He's building a club for the future. And that's why all these football players that are signing contracts, it's a long term. Football players are signing 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. And Mikhail Mudryk himself signed 8 years. And that was 100 million euros. And that's actually something like 88.5 million pound, and that definitely was a great thing because he tied him to Chelsea, because he is a very good football player and very many clubs will want to have him. But the strategy is definitely tying him to Chelsea until quite a lot of time, a long period of time. If he wants to leave the club, then Chelsea will definitely get a lot of money out of this. Chelsea will be more than happy to let him go, because they will make sure that they are getting quite a lot of money, and that money will definitely buy another better player. But that's not the strategy. The strategy is buy the football players young, go all over the world, buy the best quality, buy them young, and they come to the club and they will perform. When you see almost all of these football players, there's no old football player. There's no those big names, apart from Joao Felix, who is still very young also. Joao Felix is a big name, but still is very, very young. He's only 23 years old. And that's something that, with all the expertise that Joao Felix has, he's only 23 years old. That means that he has quite a long period of time to play. But I will remember that Joao Felix was not signed, leaving other factors constant. Joao Felix was not signed as he was definitely not signed as a Chelsea permanent football player. He was signed on loan, and what Chelsea had to pay was £8 million. As Atletico Madrid were looking at, Atletico Madrid were definitely looking at a big amount of money, a big figure, and that was £20 million. And Todd Boehly and the current management at Chelsea had to ground this down and make sure it is knocked down to £8 million, and that was definitely paid, and that was a deal done, sealed and confirmed. And possibly, but in the contract there is no clause that says that Chelsea can buy the player. But who knows? There could be a possibility that Chelsea can buy the player because he is a good one. Once the 6 months are done at the end of the season, that definitely could imply that possibly he doesn't want to go back to Atletico Madrid because he had affairs with the Atletico Madrid manager Diego Simeone, who was always putting him on the bench. They had a player and manager grudges. They did not connect quite well, so he will not be glad to go back, and that can be used as an advantage by Chelsea to make sure they can not even extend, look to signing a new deal with this gentleman after the end of the 6 months. With all this money that is being put in, that definitely shows you that the club is more than ready to invest in. If they have invested such a big amount of money, that also definitely means that they are willing to invest in more. They're definitely willing to invest in more, and they have the money, so that will definitely go on quite well for them at the end of the season, because after the end of the season, Joao Felix is expected to be leaving the club and going back to Atletico Madrid. But this could not go that far. It could be knocked down by making sure he can sign a fresh contract and a permanent deal at Chelsea. So let us know what you think about Joao Felix, and make your point, subscribe and ring that notification bell so you do not miss it. So whatever we've got to bring to you right here at the Chelsea chapter with me, your host Abo KALS, as I'm more than happy to bring to you everything that you really want to know. So again, as I've been telling you, that things are going on quite well for the club Chelsea, as Chelsea is trying to get all those young football players, and that is the explained strategy. Get them young, build up a club that for the future. You can't just out of the blue just start winning games. You need these young players, and they play as a team. And after all this, you can definitely see good results. So let us know what you think in the comment section, and do not forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell. And we will be definitely looking at a football player also who came in from Monaco and was bought £35 million, and that is who's that? Let me see. Who's that? Who's that player? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think I've got him here. Anyway, that's him. That's him. Benoit Badiashile. So he was bought £35 million, and he is definitely a very wonderful one, and he's played quite well in Monaco. He is a one that Chelsea is more than happy to make sure that it can have him. So I hope you remember that Badiashile is a youth international for France, having been a part of a number of under 20, actually under 16 and under 21 teams since 2016. And Badiashile is 1.94 meters. He's a very good defender. And leaving all that aside, his date of birth is 26th March 2001, and that definitely makes him 21 years, and that is something good. Shot number is 4, and you can see the back section is definitely something that Todd Boehly was trying to make sure that he can sort out. So looking at this gentleman, his height and stuff is a very good one. He's a very wonderful one, and he will definitely perform. I don't have anything, any negative comment about this gentleman. He is a great one. He's definitely one that is quite good. In the comment section, I can see Daniel Knight 14 saying, I'm a bit worried about FFP rules for Chelsea. Financial fair play is there, and I think Chelsea, I don't know how, for now, it beats my understanding, to be honest with you. It definitely beats my understanding, because I don't know how he will do it. I don't know how Todd Boehly is going to do this, because He spent quite a lot of money, and financial fair play will definitely say this is the end of the road for you. Cannot spend any more money. Anyway, let's wait and see how all this will go. Then I can say Papa saying we are the best. I can see somebody dinner night saying hi. And then Biogem saying this is at Biogems. Chelsea's winning today game. Thank you. I will be talking about the game. I will be talking about the game shortly. A game that is going to be happening between Chelsea and Liverpool. A game that will happen at the Anfield. I will be shortly talking about that. But right about now, we're talking about all these transfers and what we anticipate, what we expect, and Badia Shell are leaving Badia Shell alone. We've talked about Joao Felix, who is a good one, and possibly let's see who else can we talk about. Who else can we talk about? Anyway, let's talk about Datro Fofana. Datro Fofana. David Datro Fofana. Let's see, David Datro Fofana. I think he's a good one also. He's a great one, and having him at Chelsea is not something that is bad. He is definitely one that has proved over the years that he is quite a good one. With still at a very young age, has managed to play for quite a long period of time, and he's definitely played very well. It will be remembered that Dr. Fofana is an Ivorian professional football player who plays as a forward for a Premier League club right about now, that is Chelsea, and also the Ivory national team. He is only 20 years. You can see the kind of football. This is what I've been talking about. This gentleman is not, Todd Boehly is not buying old football players. He is definitely not into old football players. He wants these football players young, 20, 21, 22, 23, so that after 5 years, these football players are still possibly at the club. After 2, 3 years, Chelsea is definitely a trouble. It's a very big club. It's trouble. One of the best in the world, and there are chances that it could be the best in the world because at the moment, all the young kids, all the good kids, young kids are at Chelsea, all of them young and good. When we talk about class, when we talk about football players like Mikhail Modric, when we talk about football players like Mikhail Modric, Benoit Badiashile, Datro Fofana, Andre Santos, when we talk about Joao Felix, when we talk about Noni Madueke, all these are football players that have been talked about for some time as promising talents for the future. And clubs could be fighting for these football players, but Chelsea has not given them a chance to fight for them, as Chelsea has injected in quite a lot of money to make sure that they can secure these moves. And Chelsea is not joking at all. Chelsea is definitely not joking at all. Where there is money, they are more than happy to make sure that everything is settled. If they see that you are a good football player. I mean, like a player like Mikhail Mudryk, there was quite a lot of resistance from Chelsea. But what the boss himself, Todd Boehly, said, I said he just put 100 million euros on the table and was like, are you signing or not? Make your mind up. Are you gonna sign or you're not gonna sign? Make your mind up. There is this amount of money on the table. Are you going to sign, or it's not something that you are looking into? Anyway, if you've not subscribed, just subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you don't miss out on whatever we've got to bring to you, as long as it is Chelsea related, right here at the Chelsea chapter with me, your host Abu Kaus, as we talk sport, as we definitely talk transfers in this general transfer window. We do watch-alongs and much more. You'll be remembered still that there is a game that is going to be happening between Chelsea and Liverpool, and in this game possibly we'll be bringing to you a watch along. We can have a watch along. If you're interested in watch along, you can always come and we have a chat during the gameplay, and we see who's playing well and who is definitely not going to be playing well. So what do you anticipate? So the mere fact that both clubs are definitely struggling. Chelsea is struggling and Liverpool is struggling, but the struggling is different. Chelsea is struggling, but with quite a good squad. It definitely has a good squad, young football players who just need. It's just actually what is at Chelsea right about now is a temporary problem. Temporarily, when I mean temporary, I mean it's going to be solved soon. It's still there. The problem is still there. I mean, when you look at the Premier League table, you realize that quite a lot needs to be done. But again, when you look at uh, when you look at a club like Liverpool, definitely it shows you that a lot needs to be done and nothing has been done just as yet. Whereas Chelsea has tried to sign a few players, tell them a good player and they'll go for him. And that is the strategy Chelsea has come up with. Show me a good football player and I will have him. Todd Boehly and Graham Potter definitely came along and they discussed about the future of the club. And some people have been saying, some people have been asking about the future of Graham Potter. Do you think Graham Potter is going to remain at the club? So I don't think Todd Boehly will be quite patient with him. I don't think so because Todd Boehly is looking at different ways on how he can make his club better. And the fact that he's willing to inject that amount of money, insane amount of money, that definitely means that if the manager is not performing, then he's most likely going to go. In reports before, we've had reports that Pochettino is one of the football players that has been linked to Chelsea, and there is a chance that Pochettino could end up managing Chelsea. And there was a rumor also about Zinedine Zidane going to Chelsea. But to be honest with you, I don't see Zinedine Zidane going to Chelsea. I think that was just a rumor. I don't see him. I really do not see him going to Chelsea, chasing Chelsea. Coaching Chelsea. That is next to it's not impossible, but possibly next to impossible. That's when you see Zinedine Zidane and his mode of play, because at this moment in time, uh, uh, let me explain to you what's happening. Todd Boehly is directly involved in the game. I don't know whether you know what I mean. Todd Boehly is directly involved in the game. Who is going to play? Sometimes maybe backsides is always deciding possibly who will play. He can always have a say. He can have a say. But we a person like Zinedine Zidane will not let you have that say because he wants to play what he thinks is okay, and he wants you to invest the money in the football players that he thinks are going to perform. If he says, if Zinedine Zidane says, I want possibly Luke Shaw, then definitely you have to provide the money, and Luke Shaw will say no. But if you're not willing to do that, then definitely that won't go on quite well. So there are very few chances of Zinedine Zidane ending up at Chelsea. Possibly, I can say it's zero chance. It's I don't want to say it's impossible because everything is possible in football, but I don't see it happening. Let me say it like that. I don't see it happening. However, Pochettino, who is out of work right about now, there is a big possibility that he could come to Chelsea, could go to Chelsea in case this gentleman is not performing, and he's not performed well for it's not performed. Things have not been going on quite well for the club, Chelsea. And if things are going on like that and they continue going on like that, that definitely means something has to be done. Anyway, as I have been telling you, that the strategy, the Todd Boehly transfer strategy is going to different parts of the world, getting different football players, young football players, and then after getting the young football players, players who could be at the mercies of the next possibly the next 5 years, the Mbappes of the next 5 years, Mbappe, Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, and if all these football players are just in one club, possibly that could be a better thing for the club, and that's what he's been looking at. However, this all cannot happen without a proper manager. A good manager is definitely something that the club should be looking at if they are serious about this strategy, because this strategy works either way. It doesn't just work well only, it can backfire if the football players do not I mean if they relax, if they are not getting what they need, if the management isn't the best, then they relax a bit. That definitely means that the club is losing out on quite a lot of money. Quite a lot of money could be lost. So it doesn't work out one way, it's definitely both ways. So make your point, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on whatever we've got to bring to you, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Chelsea related, right here at the Chelsea chapter with me, your host Abu KALS, as I'm more than happy to bring to you the latest straight as it is. As I tell you, thank you and goodbye for now.